Welcome to the ultimate Ghoul RE Kagune tier list. If you're a fan of the game and wondering which Kagune is the best for you, you've come to the right place. Whether you're new to Ghoul RE or a seasoned veteran looking to optimize your combat potential, this video will break down every Kagune in the game, from worst to best. But before we get into the rankings, let's quickly cover what Kagune are. In the world of Ghoul RE, Kagune are the predatory organ-based weapons that ghouls use to fight, hunt, and survive. Each Kagune has unique abilities, strengths, and weaknesses that make them more or less effective in different situations. Some shine in PvP combat, while others excel in PvE encounters. In this tier list, we'll be ranking the Kagune from C tier to S tier, starting with the weakest and making our way to the absolute best options available. Each Kagune will be evaluated based on its effectiveness in battle, damage potential, mobility, and overall viability in the game's meta. Also, if you like watching this kind of content and want to see more of it, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts in the comments. So, sit back, relax, and let's dive into the Ghoul RE Kagune tier list. Let's start with the bottom of the list, the C tier Kagune. These Kagune are considered to be the least effective choices in Ghoul RE, either due to their low damage output, lack of mobility, or limited utility in combat. In most cases, these Kagune are better left for beginners who are still getting a feel for the game rather than serious players looking to dominate the battlefield. But even the weakest Kagune has its place in the right hands. Beaked Kagune. The Beaked Kagune is undoubtedly the weakest in the game, and it earns its place at the bottom of the tier list for several reasons. First off, its damage output is significantly lower than most other Kagune, meaning it struggles to compete in PvP and PvE. While it has some decent mobility and AoE abilities, these are often not enough to make up for its lackluster damage. The Beaked Kagune can still be useful in very specific situations, but players looking for consistent performance in combat will find it lacking. It's slow, its attacks don't hit hard, and in a fast-paced environment, it can feel almost useless compared to more powerful Kagune like Ken or Mayu. If you're just starting out, it's fine to experiment with Beaked, but as you progress, you'll want to move up the tier list. Now let's move on to B tier Kagune. These Kagune aren't terrible, but they don't stand out as exceptional either. They perform decently, but when stacked against the more powerful Kagune, they just don't have that extra edge. B-tier Kagune can still get the job done in most situations, but they require more skill and strategy to shine. Tsukiyama Kagune. Tsukiyama, often a fan favorite due to his unique abilities and flair, makes it into B tier. His Kagune allows for easy combos and decent damage output, but his mobility is a major flaw. In fast-paced PvP matches, Tsukiyama struggles to keep up with other Kagune that can move more fluidly. His attacks are strong, but without the ability to dodge or quickly reposition, he becomes an easy target for agile foes. Despite his weaknesses, Tsukiyama is still a solid choice for players who prefer a more methodical approach to combat. His combos can be devastating if executed correctly, but without mobility, his potential is limited. Yamori Kagune. Yamori's Kagune is another that sits comfortably in B tier. With a mix of mid-range attacks and some AoE abilities, Yamori can handle a variety of opponents. However, like Tsukiyama, Yamori lacks the mobility needed to compete at the highest level. His attacks are strong enough, but without being able to quickly escape or chase enemies, he becomes predictable and vulnerable. Yamori's Kagune can still be effective in group fights or against less skilled opponents, but against the top-tier Kagune, Yamori often falls short in 1v1 scenarios. Still, for a player looking to balance offense and defense, Yamori can be a useful pick. Nishio Kagune. Nishio's Kagune offers decent range, mobility, and damage. It's a versatile choice, but ultimately its performance doesn't stack up against the higher tier Kagune. Nishio has access to the V2 upgrade, which helps improve his capabilities. But even with V2, he doesn't reach the power of characters like Ken or Mayu. If you're new to the game, Nishio's balanced attributes can make him a fun choice to experiment with. But as you climb the ranks, you'll likely find that other Kagune outclass him in terms of raw power and utility. Wing Kagune. The Wing Kagune is a bit of a mixed bag. On the one hand, it boasts good mobility and range, allowing players to engage from a distance. On the other hand, its damage is inconsistent, and the V2 version can be underwhelming in PvP situations. Players who rely on precise aim and positioning can get good use out of Wing, but those who prefer a more straightforward, high damage approach will likely be frustrated with its limitations. The wing Kagune can be fun to play for players who like ranged combat, but when you're up against the top tier Kagune, its lack of sustained damage makes it hard to compete. Now we enter the A tier. These Kagune are strong and versatile, performing well in a variety of situations. While they might not be quite as dominating as S-tier Kagune, A-tier Kagune still offer incredible potential and are favorites for many players who want a reliable choice without having to master something more complex. Edo Kagune. Edo's Kagune is one of the best in terms of mobility and combo potential. With high mobility, she can easily dodge attacks, reposition herself, and chain devastating combos together. However, Ito does have one major flaw. Her damage output isn't as high as some of the top-tier Kagune. She requires more skill and precision to maximize her effectiveness. And even though her mobility makes her hard to hit, she might struggle against players with higher DPS. Edo's Kagune is perfect for players who excel at quick movements and strategy. While she may not deal the highest damage, her ability to control the flow of battle makes her an excellent choice for skilled players who can take advantage of her mobility and combo potential. Noro Kagune. Noro's Kagune is fantastic for 1v1 situations, thanks to his hyper armor and ability to shrug off damage. His V2 upgrade also gives him a nice boost, but it comes with the downside of being a bit slower compared to other Kagune. Noro excels in close quarters combat, where his resilience and sustained damage shine. However, his lack of mobility and reliance on close-range attacks make him vulnerable to fast-moving opponents. For players who enjoy a tanky, more defensive playstyle, Noro is a great choice. He might not be the flashiest, but his ability to soak up damage and maintain offensive pressure makes him a formidable foe in the right hands. And now we come to the S tier. These Kagune represent the best of the best in Ghoul RE. They have the highest damage output, the best mobility, and the greatest overall utility in combat. If you're looking to dominate in both PvP and PvE, these Kagune are your go-to choices. Ken Kagune. Ken's Kagune is the epitome of raw power and versatility. With the highest DPS in the game and access to both V2 and Kakuja forms, Ken can deal devastating damage while also maintaining decent mobility and control. His combo potential is second to none, and his ability to handle both single target and AoE situations makes him an ideal choice for any player looking to excel in both PvE and PvP. While Ken has a slight drawback in terms of range before reaching V2, once you unlock his full potential, he becomes nearly unstoppable. His ease of use and high skill ceiling make him the go-to Kagune for players who want both power and flexibility in their gameplay. Takizawa Kagune. Takizawa is an absolute beast in 1vx situations, thanks to his incredible mobility and AoE abilities. His V2 form also grants him invulnerability for short periods, making him perfect for overwhelming multiple enemies. Takizawa is a great pick for players who want to engage in fast-paced combat and dominate group fights. His versatility and ease of use put him at the top of the tier list, and while his range is limited in the air, his sheer power more than makes up for it. Yomo Kagune. Yomo's Kagune is all about mobility and quick combos. He excels at dodging attacks and weaving in devastating strikes. His range is a bit limited, but his high-speed combat style allows him to keep enemies on the back foot at all times. Yomo's Kagune is ideal for players who want to stay mobile while dealing decent damage and executing easy combos. While Yomo doesn't have the raw power of Ken or Takizawa, his agility and ease of use make him a fantastic choice for players who prefer fast-paced, hit-and-run tactics. Mayu Kagune. Mayu's Kagune is a bit of a wild card, with customizable M1 abilities and traps that can deal high damage. She's a highly technical character, and while her mobility isn't as strong as some other S-tier Kagune, her high damage output and the ability to set traps make her an extremely dangerous opponent in the right hands. Her playstyle rewards patience and precision, making her perfect for players who enjoy planning out their attacks. And there you have it. From the weakest to the strongest, we've broken down every Kagune in Ghoul RE and ranked them based on their overall effectiveness in combat. Whether you're looking for high damage, mobility, or utility, there's a Kagune for every playstyle. Keep in mind that the meta can always change with updates, but for now, this tier list should give you a solid understanding of where each Kagune stands. Thanks for watching, and good luck out there in the world of Ghoul RE.